Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. The real estate market is heating up, but not in the way you might think. We're diving into July's numbers to uncover exactly what happened with pricing. And let me tell you, the market's recent moves have even surprised our own forecasts. So stick around as we reveal our predictions for the coming month and give you the raw data you need to navigate these changing waters. For the period ending July 15th, we saw an average sale price per square foot of $288.76 across all areas and all property types within the Arizona Regional MLS system. Now that's a 3.8% decrease from the $299.96 we recorded for the period ending on June 15th. The experts forecasted for this period had a midpoint of $295.49. While they correctly predicted the dip from mid-May to mid-June, the decline was actually much larger than anticipated. In fact, it was substantial enough to fall outside the 90% confidence range on the downside. This noticeable weakening in pricing appears to be driven by a combination of typical seasonal trends and the current buyer-leaning market conditions. Turning our attention to pending listings, as of July 15th, the average list price per square foot stands at $319.64. Interestingly, this is a slight 0.1% increase compared to the data from June 15th. This suggests we might see some stabilization in closed prices over the next 4 to 5 weeks. Looking closer at those pending listings, we see about 97.9% are considered normal sales, and 0.7% are REO properties, and 1.7% are pre-foreclosures, which includes a very small number of short sales. While this level of distressed properties is the highest what we've seen since January 2020, 5 years ago, it's still relatively low when we look at long-term trends. So what are we expecting for the month ahead? The midpoint forecast for the average monthly sale price per square foot on August 15th is projected to be $288.77. That's a very slight increase of just about 1 cent or about 0.04% from July 15th reading. We're about 90% confident that the actual figure will fall within plus or minus 2% of this midpoint, putting our range between $282.99 and $294.55. We're also observing a strong downward trend in the average price per square foot for active listing, with another 3.5% decrease over the past month. The average for listings under contract has fallen, though at a much slower rate of 0.4%. So let's take a broader look at some key ARMLS numbers. That's the Arizona Regional MLS system that is going to compare August 1st of this year to the same time last year. So for all areas and property types, we're only going to talk about active listings here. We're not talking about anything that's under contract. And we have 24,091 properties compared to 17,484 last year. And that's a significant increase of about 38%. However, this is down 6.2% from the 25,683 that we saw last month. Let's talk about under contract listings, and this includes all of them: pending, under contract, accepting backups, and contingent sales. So we're at 7,369, which is a slight increase of about 1.1% from last year's 7,287. but down 4.3% from the 7,702 we saw last month. So monthly sales for the past month, we recorded 6,156 sales, down 0.8% from the 6,207 last year, and down 7.3% from the 6,638 in the previous month. Monthly average sale price per square foot. This came in at $284.83, down 0.6% from last year's $286.62, and down 2.9% from the $293.23 in the prior month. Monthly median sales price. The median sale price was $441,995, and which is a modest increase of a 0.5% from last year's 440,000, but down 1.8% from the 450,000 that we recorded last month. So sellers can find a bit of positive news in the declining supply of homes on the market. We've seen about a 6% decrease in active listings compared to last month, although we are still up a significant 38% from this time last year. Interestingly, much of this decline is due to an increase in cancellation and expired listings. It seems many sellers are choosing to take a step back for now, which could mean less competition for those who remain on the market. Unfortunately, the demand side of the equation isn't offering as much encouragement. Closed sales were slightly lower than in July of 2024, and we saw a notable 7.3% drop from June of this year. While the number of properties going under contract managed to edge out August 1st of last year by a small 1.1%, they're down 4.3% from just a month ago. It's becoming clear that pricing is now in a firm downward trend, especially with the higher end of the market typically quiet during the summer. The average price per square foot for July dropped almost 3% compared to June. And the monthly median price also fell another 1.8%. So as we look ahead to August, we anticipate more of the same. We expect to see a further decline in supply as more sellers choose to withdraw their listing, although this trend is likely to shift as we move into September. Historically, we often see a second wave of new listings in the autumn, particularly August and September, particularly in the luxury and 55 plus markets. On the demand side, things are still moving at a slower pace. However, for those buyers who are currently active in the market, they are being treated with a lot more attention and flexibility. This is a stark contrast to the frenzied market of 2021 and 2022, where attractive properties often received multiple offers within days, and buyers had to work incredibly hard just to be noticed. Finally, it's worth noting that while nominal pricing remains roughly at the same level as it was 3 years ago, at least outside of the luxury market, the impact of inflation means that homes are significantly more affordable in terms of purchasing power, meaning home prices are going down and there's a lot more negotiation opportunities on the table for buyers. And that we're comparing that to August of 2022 in terms of purchasing power. So what does this all mean for you? If you're a seller, competition is lowering, but with prices still trending down, timing your next move is crucial. But you also have to make sure that your home is priced correctly and that is absolutely 100% ready to sell. And if you're a buyer, the power is shifting back to you, offering a rare opportunity to negotiate and secure a home without the frenzy of previous years. And don't worry, I'll be here next month to see if this trend continues. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.